Do I think that showing the graphic nature of abortion is polarizing when it comes to pro-life conversations? I think it can be polarizing in the sense that, yeah, it's going to offend people. It's going to gross people out. It isn't always the best tactic, but it can be an effective tactic. I don't think it's wrong for people to show the grotesque reality of abortion just because it's offensive. Abortion is offensive. Abortion is offensive because when you are met with the reality of what abortion is, that abortion is always violent, that abortion is always bloody, that abortion always ends a human life. Now, whether or not you believe that life has value, that is the question that is up to debate. It's not a debate whether or not that's a human being. It's a human being with unique DNA. We're not just talking about the DNA of a strand of hair. We're not just talking about the DNA of sperm. We're talking about a unique DNA that is unique from the mother or the father, a unique combination of cells that only needs time and nourishment to be a full-grown baby. But at conception, has a gender, has all of the components of a human being. So that is when human life begins, at conception. At any time after that, if you want to claim that life starts anytime after conception, it all just becomes arbitrary. It all just becomes subjective. And I think human life is too important to be placed in the category of the subjective and the arbitrary when it comes to ascribing value. And so, I actually think it's important, and I do that a lot on this podcast. I don't show pictures, but I do talk about what an abortion procedure is, what it entails. Like I said, it's always violent. It's always death. It's always the intentional killing of a defenseless human being. And you can try to euphemize it by saying that, well, no, it's bodily autonomy, or you can say it's nuanced, or you can say it's complicated. And I agree that there are many circumstances, desperate situations, unfortunately, in which women are made to feel like they don't have a choice. And obviously, I believe in all the compassion and care in the world for those women. But does that justify taking the life of a person when they're outside of the womb? Does a desperate situation justify killing a toddler or killing a teenager? Of course not. That's still a life. That's still a human being. So why does merely the location or the age or the size of a baby inside the womb suddenly demand nuance and justification because of someone's circumstances? I just don't think that that's a very good argument. And I do think it's important to talk about, okay, let's talk about what an abortion actually is, because Planned Parenthood and the left, they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to think about that. They want you to think of it as nothing more consequential than a root canal, that it's just a clump of cells that's removed. And when you see that, okay, this little thing, at 9 weeks gestation is starting to have arms and legs and fingers and toes. By the time you get to 11 and a half weeks gestation, what you're looking at on a sonogram is a fully formed tiny baby with arms and legs that are kicking. You see the brain, you see where the teeth are going to come in. You see a baby, and that's still in the first trimester. And so I think it's important for people to see that. And then what happens to that image bearer, that human being in an abortion? I think that's absolutely crucial to the conversation. And yes, it is offensive because abortion is offensive, because killing innocent people, defenseless people, killing babies should be offensive. And if it's not offensive to you, then again, you have a heart of stone and a brain of mush, and I pray for you. I think there's a right time to bring up what abortion is. I think there's a right time to talk about the graphic nature and reality of abortion. It might not be all the time. It might not be in every situation. I don't think it's in every situation. I think we have to have tact. I think we have to have discernment. But do I think we should never talk about it because it's too polarizing? Abortion's already polarizing. And it is what it is. And pro-lifers have to be the ones who are willing to say, hey, because I'm pro-science and because I'm pro-reality, I care about talking about what this procedure actually entails and what it does to an image bearer.